Hey up people, how you all doing? Welcome back, I hope you're good, I hope you're having a lovely day. Emma Robinson, I think it's about the fourth or fifth video of hers I've done. I'm liking her content, but when I saw this on my For You page, I felt it was talking directly at me. When stupid people are let near history, UK versus US. Because the other day, about 4 or 5 days ago, I reacted to a kid's video about the founding fathers, so it was like education aimed at kids. And there was a test at the end. I failed it massively, but my defence is I didn't know there was going to be a test at the end, otherwise I'd have written things down. But yeah, no, it's going to take me a while to learn all things USA. That's why I'm here, and I will ask bloody a lot of questions. But yeah, with it say UK versus US as well, I don't think it's going to be taking piss out of you guys or me. I think it's going to be taking piss out of us also. I'm here for that. I don't mind a bit of a ribbon. Right, thumbs up. I'm already subscribed there, so yeah. Oh, I think I turned the earphones on, I hope I have. Let's get on with it. Let's see what... I genuinely don't even know whether this is going to be funny or genuinely angry about stuff. I don't know. But we'll find out.
Today we're looking at what happens when stupid people...
I've just realised as well, I need to apologise for the video that I did yesterday. I didn't realise how loud it was. I've adjusted this to make sure that any music that comes on is not ridiculously loud. But yeah, all my fault, I'm sorry. But I've learnt a lesson there. Always check volume before I start.
Today we're looking at what happens when stupid people are let near history. So this is for both the UK and US, and you're not going to believe these stories. But they're very real. Real crimes, real arrests, and very real prison sentences. This might just be the dumbest...
I ain't got a clue where this is going. This is through me off. That when stupid... I'll carry on watching.
Behaviour that I've ever stories, but they're very real. Real crimes, real arrests, and very real prison sentences. This might just be the dumbest behaviour that I've ever researched. So let's get into it. Let's start in the UK at Hadrian's Wall. So this is a nearly 2,000-year-old Roman landmark.
The Romans built it to stop the Scottish getting out.
Stretching across northern England, built to mark and defend the very edge of the Roman Empire. It's also a UNESCO World Heritage Site, so yes, we are already off to a strong start. Now, next to it stood the Sycamore Gap tree.
Oh, I don't know, because of what's going on in the world, I felt as though there's a bit of symbolism to this as well, this tree. Is that what she's about to go into, this getting cut down?
Not just a tree, the tree. Hundreds of years old, postcard famous in films, wedding photos, tourist selfies, basically Britain's most photogenic tree. It was so loved that it literally won England's Tree of the Year. And yes, that is a real thing. So why am I talking about this tree? Because two very dumb people decided to chop it down with a chainsaw in the middle of the night. No protest, no statement, no cause, just stupidity. And it somehow...
Because it was iconically British, I don't know. That's the only thing I thought when I saw it on the news in the morning. Well, I say news on the internet.
Gets worse. It down with a chainsaw in the middle of the night. No protest, no statement, no cause, just stupidity. And it somehow gets worse. Both men denied the charges and blamed each other, but they were convicted after overwhelming evidence, including a literal trophy wedge of the trunk that they took with them, and they recorded themselves cutting it down on their phones. This wasn't just vandalism, this was criminal damage to a protected historic site that belongs to everyone. So last July, both men were sentenced to over 4 years in prison. Since then, saplings grown from the original tree, now called the Trees of Hope, have been planted across the UK, and there are even new shoots growing from the original stump itself. So it's a small bit of hope after an unbelievably stupid act. And if you think that's bad, let's...
Absolutely bizarre though, because I never ever, because of the things that are going on, I feel, my conspiracy mind, I don't know, if someone just randomly chopped down and said it was just some indescript tree that was 1,000 years old, I'd think, oh, that was a bit senseless. But because of that being such an iconic tree, it felt like an attack on Britain. That's exactly how it's weird. I know it sounds strange, but it's, yeah.
Go to Florida.
More symbolism than a tree.
So, in an attempt
to
to see her crystal meth better, a woman accidentally burnt down a 3,500-year-old tree. This tree, called the senator tree, was the 5th oldest tree in the world and the largest east of the Mississippi River. So what happened?
See, that's what I didn't realise as well, that you guys over there have got the oldest, like some of the oldest trees in the world. Really surprises me, that did. I don't know why. I don't know why.
Old tree. This tree, called the senator tree, was the 5th oldest tree in the world and the largest east of the Mississippi River. So what happened? She and a friend climbed over the protective fence into Big Tree Park, went inside the hollow part of the tree, and lit debris on fire because that was clearly going to end well. The tree caught fire, burnt from the inside out, and completely collapsed. Afterwards, she took photos and allegedly told people she couldn't believe she burnt down a tree older than Jesus. Okay, so let's move away from trees.
See, that to me is mental. That tree must have been dead and very old, because the forest near where I grew up, in Sheffield, England, there was like this tree, and it looked like something out of a movie. It like had this like natural fireplace thing built into it. It was a live tree, it had Tarzan swings in it and everything, but right at the very bottom, it was hollow around it. And us as kids, we was always there on Tarzan swing, and there was always a fire in there, but it never, I don't know. Yeah, a couple of crisp packets and a couple of twigs is a little bit different to whatever she was doing there, though, isn't it?
Because in both countries, sadly, vandals exist. And I genuinely don't know what level of stupidity you have to be at to look at a piece of history and think that your initials belong there. There are loads of examples of this, but let's talk about Native American rock art, also known as petroglyphs. So these are images carved directly into stone, often thousands of years ago, and they normally have spiritual or cultural meaning. Now, petroglyphs are a global occurrence, but the vast majority of those found in the United States were created by indigenous peoples, and later carvings were attributed to early Spanish settlers. Some of these carvings can be up to 8,000 years old and are protected cultural sites across national parks and public lands. So when someone carves their name into a petroglyph, they're not just vandalizing rock. They're erasing history that survived for thousands of years.
See, that is in bad taste, isn't it? I know some people would argue, well, they did it years ago, so I can't do it. I know some people would argue that, not me, and probably not most of you guys, but yeah, it's bad taste, isn't it? Terrible taste.
Let's take a look at what somebody decided to do in Utah. Somebody actually decided it would be a great idea to carve their name into a panel of Native American petroglyphs estimated to be at least 800 years old on a canyon wall. Rock art that had survived
that looked like it had bullet holes in it. Were they bullet holes as well? Yeah, it's got bullet holes in it, of course it has. That's what it looks like to me anyway. But yeah, I think I was kind of half defending people scratching a name in it there. But in Ibiza, I, what's it called? Engraved my name into a cactus. But there was loads of, I know, just because it's already done, don't mean you have to do it. This big cactus, there was loads of names and initials and that scratched into it, so I put mine in there.
Rock art that had survived centuries of weather, erosion, and human history. Bystanders, photographs.
Let me be clear, I ain't defending these people doing this madness. I'm not. I'll just.
And filmed it happening in real time. The footage sparked public outrage, and it did lead directly to an arrest. So the consequences: 1 year of probation, nearly $15,000 in fines and restoration costs, a ban from all land during probation, and a court-ordered written apology to the affected tribes. Now, this wasn't just vandalism, this was irreversible damage to a protected cultural site. Very expensive, stupid thing to do, and all for a few seconds of attention. And honestly, the UK does this too. People visit historic castles and look at medieval stone walls that have survived wars, sieges, fires, and centuries of weather and think that somehow it needs their name. So sometimes they scratch their initials, hearts, dates right into the stone. Other times they take it even further, like a 500-year-old castle in the Scottish Highlands. So tourists decide to rip down part of an ancient stone wall just to make stepping stones across a puddle so they wouldn't get their feet wet.
That's
Imagine
ridiculous.
surviving the Middle Ages just to be vandalized by somebody who couldn't be bothered to get their feet wet. Next up, one of the most outrageous examples.
These crimes, right? Yeah, these are big classed as crimes and all that sort of stuff, but it's just pure bad taste. And it's like, just why would you do these things? Like me, the first one with the sycamore tree in the UK. I thought I was a bit weird overreacting in my own mind about what happened with that. But I'm still thinking it shouldn't really be a crime. Do you know what I mean? It's a really terrible thing to do, but bad taste. But yeah, why, even if it weren't a crime to do that, why would you?
Examples of human short-sightedness when it comes to nature. A Jurassic Age hoodoo in Goblin Valley
I
State
love that, all
Park,
right, mushrooms.
Utah. These bizarre mushroom-shaped sandstone spires are part of a landscape that began
That's
forming about
brilliant.
145 to 170 million years ago, back when dinosaurs still walked the earth. So in October 2013, two Utah Boy Scout leaders pushed one of these ancient hoodoos over while on a scouting trip. They recorded the entire thing. They cheered, high fived, and
I'm just
posted the
sorry.
video
It just shows these people are actually brain dead, to be fair. Look at that here, right here. Little fat chubber here, sat there. Like, that comes out. Things crush. Lord of the Fly style stuff there, isn't it?
high fived, and posted the video online. In the
Should have rolled the
footage,
other way.
they claimed the rock was about to fall on someone, or that they were just trying to prevent an injury. But park officials were not aware of any real hazard, and rangers walk those trails daily. This wasn't a documented safety risk. The backlash was massive. People around the world were shocked that adults and leaders responsible for youths would deliberately do something like this. The consequences weren't just internet outrage. Both men were removed from their Boy Scout leadership
Spilling me
roles.
drink. See, that's what I mean. They're in leadership roles, setting examples and stuff like that. For me, one of the main things about these sort of groups, aren't they, about safety? Everything about this is like, don't even go near it, let alone start pushing on it while you're wedging yourself there. You know, just, I don't know, everything about that screams you're an idiot. Safety, let alone the destroying natural beauty, but
Faced criminal mischief charges,
stupid.
received probation and fines, and became a cautionary example of what not to do in protected natural spaces. These rock formations survived the Jurassic period, ice ages, and eons of erosion, and yet they were knocked down in a
Don't
few
even look
seconds
real.
of poor judgment, all captured on video. Now let's go to North Yorkshire.
By his poses in that as well, he's like, look how strong I am. That's what this is. Look at that, like, aren't that strong.
Video. Now let's go to North Yorkshire
By the way, let me say before we go on, I don't wish harm on anyone. Betty's an idiot. It'd have been unfortunate if it rolled the opposite way.
in England, where five youths decided to push a massive 320 million year old sandstone formation off its perch. In seconds, the rock smashed into the ground, taking part of the cliff face
Oh no.
with it. These are the Brimham Rocks, ancient sandstone
When did
spires
this
sculpted
happen?
by wind, water, and glaciation for hundreds of millions of years, towering up to 9 meters with names like the Sphinx, the Turtle, and the Dancing Bear. They've amazed visitors for generations. The National Trust called it mindless destruction, completely pointless and needless. Police warned the site was now dangerous for visitors, and those responsible put
I'd not heard of that one. I've heard of the place, but I'd not heard of it being damaged.
themselves at risk while destroying a part of England's natural heritage. Now, I can't find any confirmed arrests or legal action for this incident. The vandals were seen and reported, and police asked the public for help, but there's no publicly documented result. So, what's the takeaway
Nothing
here?
happened to me here in the
Across
UK,
the
I bet.
UK and the US, people keep making the same mistakes, destroying history, culture, and nature in moments of thoughtless stupidity. From ancient trees and medieval castles to Jurassic rocks and millennia old petroglyphs, these acts of vandalism erase things that can never be replaced. And remember, a vandal isn't just someone being careless, it is deliberate and destructive. The word gained popularity in its modern context from the Vandals, a Germanic tribe who sacked Rome in 455 AD, and it has come to mean deliberate destruction, so a crime against history.
Vandalism's crazy. Don't get me wrong, growing up I was no perfect child. I was a long way from that. But vandalism, that's nothing I don't know. That's nothing I've ever partaken in. I just don't get it. It's mental.
Culture, or nature itself. There are so many more examples like these all over the world. So let me know in the comments, what's the most shocking act of stupidity affecting history that you have heard of? Thank you for watching, and
Oh God, I'm not even going to attempt to try and answer that. There's loads, isn't there? Yeah, no, vandalism of stuff like that is absolutely crazy. Yes, I did do that to the cactus. I imagine that it's probably growing out of that cactus now. But yeah, no, that didn't go anywhere. Like, when stupid people are let near history, it makes sense now after watching that. But when I was reading it, I thought it meant I don't know what I thought it meant, but it wasn't what I was expecting anyway. But yeah, really enjoyed that. But yeah, it doesn't matter where you are. If you're a tit, aren't you? It don't matter where you are in the world. We can never have nice things, can we? Right, anyway, if you guys enjoyed that, give us a thumbs up and all that good stuff if you want to. And I'll see you next time. Goodbye. Bye-bye.